Well, we're talking with animal trainer Mary Green of K9 Manners and More to talk about some behavior problems or issues you may have been struggling with your dog. Mary, welcome back.
Thanks
for joining us. And you brought Griffin with us as well. So first, we're going to start with some questions that viewers sent to us. So Carrie asked, our 1-year-old seems to have recall and pulling issues, and my voice or treats when outside don't seem to help. What's your suggestion?
I have a few suggestions. First of all, that's kind of an adolescent age, right? And you know how adolescent children are. They're very, 1 minute they're the angel, they're perfect, and the next minute they're, very naughty. Dogs are the same way. So continue with basic training. Stay in a group class if you're in a group class. Get in one if you're not. Just to reinforce that relationship that makes the dog want to come to you when you call him, wants to be with you, wants to walk with you, and isn't going to say, just a minute, he just wants to be with you. So it's all about relationship building.
Right. And you said those classes are so important?
I think they are, yes. I do. Now that we're in a situation where people and their pets can be back in a group situation, I think it's really important to try and get them in there.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to go to our next question. Kathy asks, I have an 8-month-old French bulldog that doesn't come when called and takes her sweet time. This has been a problem since we have had her. What do you have to say to that?
She sounds very independent, doesn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a few reasons why dogs don't come when you call them. First of all, they're busy doing something that's fun for them. So it's self-reinforcing. Much like if we call them, they know it's going to be the end of all fun for dogs, right? So they might delay a response in coming. They might say, get out of here, I'm busy doing this. So we practice like 1,000 times of a positive reinforcement.
Like treats, maybe.
Like treats, like a toy, like throwing the ball. That 1,001 time when you need it in an emergency, then you know you've got it. So it's something to just keep working on, always make it positive. The minute the dog turns her head towards you, like she's going to come to you, praise the heck out of her then. What a good girl. Don't wait till she's already there, and never call your dog to come to you and then reprimand them or punish them, or do something they don't enjoy, like maybe I don't know, get in a bath or something like that.
Right. Of course, the dog remembers.
Sure.
Yes, and we're going to move on to our next question. Okay. Sheila says, I have a Great Dane and mini Shar pet that gets into random fights without any apparent cause. We've had 4 in 6 months.
Yeah, that's really scary because of the disparity of size with those two animals. So first I would visit with your veterinarian and make sure there's not something medically going on with either of the dogs. I would get that checked out first. And then I think that would be some behavioral training needed. Fights aren't random. There are, there are about maybe 8 or 10 specific things that happen. Sometimes it's resource guarding over a toy or food. Sometimes they're resource guarding their person. They don't want the other dog around their person. Sometimes it's a space, like the Shar Pei might be up on a sofa or something, and the big dog, the Dane, comes up and disturbs him. So there can be a lot of reasons, but for fights, we also look at the fight to bite ratio and make sure you're not ending up in the vet. That's quite serious, but definitely address that.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Mary. Now, if you have a question for Mary about training your dog, you just send us an email at noonshow@griffin.news.